shocked fans by revealing Johnny Lamb on live TV. It made them question everything they thought they knew about Daystar's co-founder. One of the most well-known people on Christian TV is now at the center of a scandal that could end her career for good. A lot of people in the religion community were shocked by Roy's brave move, which revealed shocking information and made them gasp. Stay with us until we find out what really happened right now. Many people have been talking about what made Julie Roy tell on Johnny Lamb for months now. It's clear that a lot of things happened before this shocking event. It is said that the friendship between the two women, which used to be good, has been tense for a while. People know Julie Royce for her straightforward way of finding crime and her investigative writing. She had started to notice some troubling patterns in Dayar television network. Stories spread over the years that Lamb's power was rising in secret. This made a lot of people wonder if she was abusing her power to get what she wanted. Along with being seen as a helpful co-founder, Lamb was thought to be in charge of more of Dayar's shows by some inside the network for a long time. Some people said she made a lot of Dayar's decisions. People said that Julie Royce heard the stories and began to look into them, since she used to work in the Christian media business. After seeing some red flags, like shady business deals and what some people called a lack of openness about where money was going, she had been gathering information about Dayar for a while. It became more well-known and important for Dayar, so Lamb worked behind the scenes to get some important people in the Christian media business to support her own plans. There were investigations, and it was said that she had papers and evidence that suggested Dayar might be corrupt, especially when it came to how Lamb's power had grown over the years. But there were also forces from people at work. For a long time, Lamb was known as Dayar's face. It was possible because of her and her husband, Marcus Lamb. Some people thought that her job had grown more important over time and that she had started to take charge in a way that they didn't like. Other people who worked at Dayar became more uncomfortable as more people heard this story. It became clear that Julie Royce had decided to tell everyone what she had found as things got worse. Persons who used to work for Dayar and people who work in banks were said to have told Roy about these shady activities. People who didn't believe in Dayar and were ready to speak out against Lamb's influence thought that Roy might have talked to those people. Roy was said to have enough proof to talk about her fears in public, and everyone was waiting for Julie Royce to do it. What she said made a lot of people angry and upset, and Christian radio and TV would never be the same again. Some people told what they thought about stories that had been going around for a while. The news stories about Johnny Lamb were very different from what anyone thought was possible. Last month, the Trinity Foundation did say that Lamb owned 6 houses. It was said that a woman had become more powerful behind the scenes than anyone had thought at first. So this was because of things like Lamb's growing power in Dayar and financial fears from people inside the company. The Christian TV mogul owns homes in 3 states that are worth a total of about $11 million. 0 cents. This shows how wealthy she is. Roy's research also shows that Lamb owns a 7th home in a 4th state. This adds up to $11 in value for the house she bought through Christian ministry. $2,700,000, 0 cents to Joni's. Joni has a $2 million, 0 cents home in Colville, Texas. The house cost $9 million, 0 cents, and has 7,358 square feet. It is on more than 2 acres of land. It's close to Colville, Texas, and has 5 beds and 5 bathrooms. There is a jacuzzi and a pool in the ground. It was said by the Trinity Foundation that at least one document from Marcus Lamb's bankruptcy estate gives Joni property, and it lists the Colleyville home as her writing address. This was reported by TRR. This proved that Joni and her late husband owned the house in 2012. This is proof that Joni bought a 2-acre lot in a gated area in Colleyville, Texas in March 2022. It was given to TRR by the Trinity Foundation. At that time, homes worth $9 million, 0 cents, were being built on the land. Everyone in the world of Christian TV was shocked by what Julie Roy said about Joni Lamb. No one saw that side of the co-founder of Dayar coming. Joni Lamb was praised and looked up to in Christian media for a long time. She helped start Dayar Television Network. With her late husband, Marcus Lamb, they made it one of the world's most well-known Christian news networks. Roy said, Lamb made a bigger difference than anyone thought. The speaker said that Lamb was in charge of not only Dayar's direction, but also the whole Christian media message. Everyone was shocked by how deep Royce's words were. A lot of the things she told them had never been told to anyone else. Roy said that Lamb had used her job at Dayar to get other preachers and even prophets to change their beliefs so that they could help her run her business and make money. There was more than just guesswork behind Roy's claims. She used what she called substantial evidence, such as financial records, statements from former employees, and emails that showed how Lamb had made deals to make sure that Dayar's shows fit her own tastes. Roy said in her angry speech, Joni Lamb has been using Dayar for years to get what she wants. She's not just building a church. She's building a lot of people said that Lamb stole from the ministry and used Dayar's large following in the Christian media industry to get rich. Roy said that many of the financial decisions made at Dayar had seemed fishy, but no one had been able to prove anything up to this point. Roy said that Lamb had made Dayar a place where the focus wasn't just on spreading the gospel, but also on making sure that the network's success kept feeding into her financial empire. Dayar had slowly changed from a spiritual hub to a place where people could make money. Roy Lamb said that she had hacked the network's fundraising efforts by getting some televangelists to promote very profitable donation drives that promised viewers personal blessings or financial prosperity if they gave a lot of money. Roy said that Lamb was the main person responsible for this change. And he also pointed out times when Dayar's shows and the messages from important people on the network seemed to follow Lamb's lead, promoting ideas that were more about making money than giving spiritual advice. Roy said that Lamb set up deals involving real estate investments, offshore accounts, and shell companies that were used to hide assets and move money around. Roy said that Lamb's business dealings were not limited to the network alone. She allegedly used Dayar's influence to take advantage of lucrative opportunities that had nothing to do with the ministry, sending money into her own accounts instead of the ministry's charitable causes. Roy said that the most shocking revelation was that Lamb was involved in some financial dealings that went beyond Dayar itself. Roy's expose also said that she had manipulated ministers in the Dayar network. Roy said that Lamb was known for getting powerful people to align their messages with Dayar's larger branding and financial goals. This wasn't just about ministry, it was also about keeping up a carefully crafted public image that gave Lamb even more power. Roy said that Lamb had long used her position to make deals with powerful people in the Christian ministry world, making sure they promoted Dayar and its mission in exchange for money. Even though Royce's evidence was only circumstantial, it was enough to make people seriously question Lamb's operation. Roy didn't say what she did out of spite or a personal grudge. She did it because she thought the truth needed to be told. This isn't just about one woman's career, Roy said. This is about the future of Christian media. The integrity of ministries like Dayar is at stake. Roy wasn't joking when she made her accusations. She was seriously calling for action. Some people in the Christian media community were shocked by how serious the accusations were, while others saw it as a chance to look again at how big Christian ministries handle their money and operations. Dayar's followers were split. Some were shocked that someone they had trusted for so long could be involved in such shady activities, while others started to wonder what the network's real goals were and how much of what they were watching was spiritual and how much of what they were watching was spiritual and how much was about making money. People stopped trusting Joni Lamb as a leader in Christian media. As soon as the story spread on social media and the news, they started watching old shows and fundraising campaigns to see if they had been lied to the whole time. The fallout for Joni Lamb was quick and intense. Fans who used to admire her started to doubt her honesty, and supporters of Dayar were left wondering what the truth was. This was part of a larger conversation about honesty in religious media. Many viewers who had previously given large amounts of money to Dayar started to feel cheated. Some even said they had been tricked into giving money under false pretenses. Julie Roy's revelations didn't just bring attention to Joni Lamb. They made the whole industry look at how Christian networks and ministries work behind closed doors. Roy had shown the darker side of a faith-based industry, and the effects of her brave statement were just starting to be felt. For some, the trust was broken forever, and they stopped using the network altogether. Others who stayed loyal to Lamb and Dayar fought back against the accusations, saying they were false and part of a larger campaign to smear them. Architectural plans for a Colleyville building permit show that the new house that will be built on it will be 9,738 square feet and only cost $3.00. The house is still being built, but 9 million photos that TRR was able to get show that most of the front of the house is done. In September 2023, Joni and her new husband, Doug Weiss, bought a 330-foot Gulf-front condo in Mayar Beach, Florida, for $2 million, 0 cents, according to the warranty deed that the Trinity Foundation gave them. Many fans had been following Daystar and Joni Lamb for years and had no idea this was going to happen. The 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home was designed with the help of one of the best design firms in the area. Everything in this unit is top of the line and no expense was spared. The listing says all the furnishings, accessories, window treatments, bedding, and artwork are all coordinated for each individual room. Joni Lamb went from co-founding Daystar to becoming a well-known figure in Christian media. Her poised personality, calm demeanor, and public role with her late husband Marcus Lamb made her a loved figure in many homes. For years, people believed the content on Daystar to be truly divinely inspired content that fit with their own spiritual values. But hearing such explosive accusations against her was like seeing the foundation of their faith fall apart right in front of their eyes. A lot of people who had spent time and effort on Dayar thought the accusations were crazy. Fans of Lamb who had been following her for years were even more shocked and confused. Many asked online how someone they looked up to could be doing something so dishonest. Some couldn't even believe that Lamb, who they trusted, could be using Dayar for personal business. It was also hard for some to believe that a woman who seemed to be an honest and hardworking ministry leader could have been doing these things. People on social media had a lot of different reactions to the news. Some defended Joni Lamb by saying they thought the accusations were part of a bigger plan, and that Julie Roy was using her job as a reporter to smear Lamb's reputation. They said it was all part of an effort to bring down Dayar and its influence in Christian media. But these supporters strongly denied the claims, saying Lamb had always been an honest woman. Supporters of Joni Lamb have said that the attack on her character was an attempt to silence a strong voice in Christian broadcasting. One fan wrote, "This is just a baseless attack that has no truth behind it." But many others felt betrayed by the accusations because they had supported Dayar for years and often donated to the network or watched its shows as part of their spiritual journey. Someone who followed them wrote, "I believe Joni and Marcus were telling the truth about God." Fans who had supported Lamb weren't the only ones who felt betrayed. Former employees and ministry partners also spoke out, saying how the network had changed under Lamb's leadership. For these people, it wasn't just about the money. It was about how deeply they felt connected to the network and its mission. I've been watching Dayar for more than 20 years. Someone who used to work for the network said that Lamb's influence had slowly turned it into what they saw as a business empire. That the messages weren't really about God, but rather selling a way of life that would make you rich if you didn't follow it. Critics said that this change wasn't just about making money because they saw things going on behind the scenes that didn't match how the network seemed to the public. It made fans of the ministry's spiritual messages question everything. One fan wrote on social media, "I trusted them and now I feel like a fool." While many people were dealing with the emotional effects of the accusations, others started to call for action. Some fans wanted Dayar to address the accusations right away, even if it meant making a public statement. Many fans started to doubt the sincerity of the shows they had watched for years. Many people were shocked by the accusations and didn't know what to do next. Fans who had once seen Dayar as a source of hope and spiritual guidance started to question the network's leaders' motives. "We need answers," said one longtime viewer. "If this is true, Dayar should be held accountable." They owed it to their viewers to explain themselves. Some saw it as a sign of disappointment. The emotional toll was especially high for people who had followed Lamb and her ministry for years and believed she was sincere about sharing the gospel. For these people, this was not just a scandal, it was a personal betrayal that made them lose faith in the Christian media industry. The fallout was huge, and Dayar's future became uncertain. Fans wondered if the network could handle the backlash and if Joni Lamb could fix her damaged reputation. Some chose to stay loyal to Lamb, believing that the accusations were part of the truth. As the story went on, it became clear that Julie Royer's expose had caused a crisis in the world of Christian media. The scandal would hurt Joni Lamb's reputation and the trust of her fans for years to come, and it wasn't clear if she would be able to get over it.